downstairs is our dental area, where we provide free dental, free eye care.
So they just walk in and it's completely free, no insurance needed.
It's all funded. It's all paid for. We owe nothing on this.
Really?
Look down there. People bring their children in with them. What we do for when people come in to either go to our food pantry or take advantage of the clothing, and they have their little ones. This is right.
Drop-off area.
Right, eye care right there, and around this corner here is a full dental. Okay, that's right around the wall right there.
So that's all volunteer. They just
All
come
volunteers.
out. They don't got to go to Africa to be a missionary. They're a missionary right here in their job placement.
That's you.
Amen.
That's awesome.
Right there's our.
So one of the biggest things about mega churches, the biggest problem people always have is like, oh, I can't get connected here. It's too big. I come in, walk out. I never get to meet anybody. So there's an obvious need, and we're at Willow Creek Church, and they've come up with a solution. And can you tell us a little bit about that solution?
Sure. So with this large church, we've sectioned our auditorium off where there's one leader per section. And what we do is we build community. We get people connected, we get them involved in small groups, let them know what we have to offer, and then build relationships that way. And what we found is that it's really helped the church, people's relationship with Christ has just been, completely taking off because of the relationships that they're building. They feel more of an investment in the church. So it's just been a beautiful thing.
It's the coolest thing I've ever heard of.
What they've asked us to do is to have some sort of affinity. So people who have things in common would be able to get together and explore those passions. So we have a military section. We've got different communities, like a biker section, so people with motorcycles. So they get together and actually sit in a section together and build community that way. So it's really beautiful.
So if we like to knit, we could totally start a different
Exactly,
section
yes.
about knitting.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. We're moving to
Yeah.
Chicago. And it's crazy. I super wanted to come here because it's a mega church, third biggest church in America. And the problem with mega churches, what always people think is that, oh, they do all this, they spend all their money this way. How does that help? How is that being a best steward? And what you see when you come in is something completely different when what you expect. We sat through the service, the worship was amazing, but what the pastor was doing, he was vision casting. He was sharing a dream that he had, but what we've seen is people backing that, people catching onto a vision, people being a part of a movement, not just sitting in a seat and just leaving. When we were on the way out, we wanted to connect, and it's so hard to connect in a big church, but I'm convinced that it's on us too. We go in thinking that everybody has to come to us, that like, oh, I didn't feel loved on. Why can't we go out and catch people? Why can't we go out and be a part of that? We met Wayne on the way out, and he's not a pastor here, he's not on staff, but what he said stuck out to me. He said that I love my church and I love being a part of it. And he goes, there's needs in the community, and there's all these things that we need people to step up to. And he goes, guess what? We can't let those happen. So they came up with this whole care center, 60,000 square feet. And you might think like, oh, that's a waste of money. No, but what they're doing is they see that there's needs in the community, and they're filling those. They're being a part of it. They're understanding that the local church has to be the hope for those people. So they came up with this care center where they have dental, where they have food, they have an entire grocery store, they have a car program where people can come and take their cart and fill those needs, whether they're a struggling family, whether they're a single mom, whether they just have too many kids like my family had. The church steps up and fills those needs. They see a need and they're like, oh, they don't say, oh, someone's gonna take care of that. Somehow, some way, someone's gonna do something about it. They're willing to be part of that solution. They're willing to step up and say, guess what? I'm gonna pray that God's gonna do something about this, but he's gonna use me in doing that. So now all of a sudden, all these dentists, all these doctors, people that work in grocery stores, people that are mechanics, what happens is they're the missionaries. They're like, wait a second, God gave me these gifts and I'm gonna use them to better this community. So we're seeing people just step up everywhere, and it doesn't have to be the pastors. It doesn't have to be a vision or an idea where all of a sudden like, oh, the pastors are gonna do something about it. we're the body, we're going to do something about it. We're going to be the Acts 2 church, and we're going to create those communities and take care of people no matter what it takes. We're going to have the mentality of whatever it takes. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we do all these things for you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me."